Tabligi, the national president of the Sufi Islamic Board. He is coming to us to explain a bit how is it and to give us a bit of light on what it is Islam, and that actually Islam is not necessarily tablighi, is not violence, is not Sharia, is the Sharia it's very different, you know. And when this appeasement mentality say, oh yeah, we are not going against Muslims, they are actually going against most of the Muslims that are normal people and that see things differently, but they don't understand this. I did understand the hard way, you know, going through Muslim countries, being in my life is full of it, you know, and to understand the people. But these people don't understand. They don't know. They just know the ones who are sent by the Islamist organizations. They don't know what they are speaking about. That's the problem. Okay, don't take more of your time. The floor is entirely yours now. Mr. Khan, please.
Thank you, Paulo. Uh, from the land of the fragrance of Iman, I send greetings to all the dignitaries participating in this webinar on the platform of South Asia Democratic Forum. I would like to extend my gratitude to all the members of SADF organization for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this thought-provoking webinar. I am representing my organization Sufi Islamic Board, of which I am the national president in India. To understand today's topic of this webinar, which is Tablighi Jamaat and its role in global terrorism, we will have to go into the reasons which created this ideology of hate in the history of Islam. The crux of this fundamental Islamic history lies in the history of Islam some 1400 years ago, at the base of which is a very powerful ruler of Mecca by the name of Abu Sufyan, whose family comprises of Abu Sufyan, his wife Hinda, their son Mawiyah, and Mawiyah's son Yazid. To understand this conflict in a better way between the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions of the Sufa and Abu Sufyan and his family, briefly, I would like to give some examples. Abu Sufyan had waged war against Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam many times from Mecca to Medina. Hinda had eaten the raw heart of Hazrat Hamza, who was the beloved uncle of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam after the war in Uhud. Mawiyah had waged war against Hazrat Ali alayhi salam more than 50 times and was also instrumental in poisoning of Hazrat Hassan alayhi salam, the elder grandson of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yazid had called Hazrat Hussain alayhi salam at Karbala for a peace conference and betrayed and martyred him and his whole family at Karbala, in which a child, Janab Ali Asghar, of 6 months was also killed. So this dispute at the base of Islamic history is basically a fight between the good and the evil, where the good is represented by the family of the Prophet uh, and his close companions, and the evil is represented by Abu Sufyan and his family and their followers. Till date, both these groups exist and call themselves Muslims. But one group represents love and peace, while the other represents hate and chaos. From the early history till date, this conflict is the base of fundamental Islamic ideology. People who follow Prophet Muhammad and his family and his close companions are the peace loving and are always attacked by the people who follow Abu Sufyan and his family and the sympathizers also. These people have always been the preparators of fundamental Islamic history or ideology which we know nowadays, and which is quite prominent throughout the world. All terrorist organizations such as Al Qaeda, the ISIS, the IHH, and many other organizations of the world part form of this ideology. Tablighi Jamaat is also one such organization which follows the fundamental Islamic ideology. The ideology that the Tablighi Jamaat follows revolves around the theme that they are the sole protectors of Allah and the Quran. Instead of surrendering to God and seeking its protection, they make programs as if God is in danger and only their agenda will save it. They do everything which is diametrically opposite to the Quran and its meanings towards humanity. The Tablighi Jamaat was formed in the early 19th century with a mission to misguide the people of United India, who were until then the followers of Sufi saints and whose lives revolved around the preachings of the mystical Islam, whose roots were fixed in values of love, peace, inclusiveness, humanity, and spirituality. These values were the foundation of unity among the masses, and therefore, these groups they prepared an agenda to distort these values and to divide the masses into small fragments to suit their agenda of creating chaos. From 1919 to 1924, there was a Khilafat movement led by Shaukat Ali and Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar and others to restore the Khilafat of the Ottoman Empire as an effective political authority for the Muslim Ummah, which in turn also became the foundation for the Tablighi Jamaat. This school of thought was also supported by the regime in Saudi Arabia, which took over from the Ottoman Empire in 1932 and became the rulers of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia became the prominent promoter of this ideology throughout the world because the Wahhabi school of thought had also been created by Saudi Arabia on the same values of opposing the Sufi masses. They could achieve this because uh, people from all over the world would visit Saudi Arabia to perform Hajj and Umrah, and it was very easy for them to promote and push people toward this fundamental Islamic ideology of hate. In 1926, Maulana Ilyas was went on a pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia, and after returning back, started working for the development of Tablighi Jamaat. The Tablighi Jamaat started receiving funds from Saudi Arabia from the year 1933 onwards. The Tablighi Jamaat gained momentum on the ideology of a separate state for the Muslims in India with the aim of preservation of Muslim culture and society, economy and commerce, craft and industry, and importance of social revolution of Muslims to usher in a political revolution. Thus, this ideology of the Tablighi Jamaat was in favor of a two-nation theory, and its claim to be apolitical collapses from this theory. With the Saudi Arabia fundings and some internal political movement fundings, the Tablighi Jamaat started constructing madrasas where they started to poison the brains of the Muslim youth who followed them. Various law enforcing agencies have reported their involvement in terrorist and fundamentalist ideology, and acting upon their reports, the Tablighi Jamaat has been banned in some Central Asian countries such as Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Russia, whose governments see its puritanical preachings as extremist. Most reports, my friends, are available on the World Wide Web and also on the SADF policy brief prepared beautifully by Mr. Wolf on this very subject. Friends, time has come to a full circle. It is alarming that in 2019, Turkey has again started to project itself as a Muslim Khilafat movement leader, like it had done in 1919. This time, Turkey has roped in many religious leaders across the world to promote and propagate its agenda. I say this because uh, during the times of COVID in May 2020, during the month of Ramadan, many clergymen were seen promoting the drama series Urtugul Ghazi around the world on the pretext of promoting Islamic culture. Later on, Turkey has openly started to support Kashmiri youths involved in terrorism and has said that it will send its trained mercenaries to fight in Kashmir along with the Kashmiris. This is really alarming. We have to stay alert as the Tablighi Jamaat, along with the Wahhabi agenda, with the help of Turkey, is going to be a vicious nexus against humanity. Friends, we have to learn from our mistakes and pave way for love and peace for the future generations to come. Sufi Islamic Board is a registered organization and has a presence pan-India with lakhs of followers. We are fighting against the fundamental ideology through constitutional and democratic means. Our organization is working on issues which by which we can de-radicalize the youth of our nation and the world who are mostly misguided by the orthodox clergy to follow their maligned ideology of hate. We intend to achieve this goal by promoting and propagating Sufi or spiritual means as an antidote against terrorism. In the above effort, we have worked on many issues. Some prominent among them are: issue number one is an issue related to Miraj Rabbani from Saudi Arabia, who had come to radicalize a youth from Saudi Arabia and had spoken against a very prominent Sufi saint from Asia, Hazrat Khwaja Garib Nawaz of Ajmer. At that time, we had formed an organization with the name Muslims Against Terrorism, through which we had lodged a complaint against him, and after which he was deported back to Saudi Arabia, never to return back to India. The second issue is of Zakir Naik from Mumbai. We had started a movement against him among the masses, after which the Indian government has banned him throughout India. And in recent times, we have organized a nationwide agitation against Popular Front of India, whose links have been established with IHH Group of Turkey in connection with various fundamental and terrorist promoting activities in India. As our Honorable Security Advisor of India, Mr. Ajit Doval, in one of his speeches said that, quote, to fight terror is an abstract idea. You don't fight terror. You do so by degrading the terrorist, and that's done by taking their weapons and their concepts, unquote. I think to fight this fundamental ideology of terror, which is the ideology of hate, we should join hands and work together to promote the ideology of peace and love, which is reflected by the universal thoughts of Sufism or spiritualism. If we can promote and propagate values of peace, inclusiveness, and love through Sufism or spirituality, we would be able to not only counter this fundamental ideology of hate, we would also be able to show the world a new light of hope in which the masses would not only do away with the fundamental ideology of hate, but also start to accept the ideology of love and peace. I am thankful once again for the South Asia Democratic Forum to invite Sufi Islamic Board in such a uh, well organized webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this lesson with such a clarity. We need you. We need your organization
Thank,
in Europe to explain what Islam is to the Europeans, and especially, I wouldn't say for the normal European, but the worst are unfortunately the ones who are at the top because they don't know, they have not the faintest idea of what they speak about, but they think that they know Islam. Especially when they are coming from these Islamic studies that we know very well who is financing these Islamic studies. They are absolutely indoctrinated. They know nothing, but they believe they know a lot, and they become really very problematic. Thank you so much. And now we are sorry for taking of Bangladesh to the European Union later in the day here in Brussels. But now and before, allowing for the debate, let me tell you that I got some very good messages here. Let me just say, Professor Nedushian, Defense Department, a great effort towards peace. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. You have been speaking. The Dr. Nedun Shezian, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing, Perumal, whether it's Tablighi, Tawhid, or any other Jamaat, it ultimately lies in revenge and violence for short goals in the name of pan-Islamism. Do you suggest a common solution for all? I think that this was a question that was addressed to Mr. Khan. So when he now has the floor, he can come to this. And last but not least, no, two others. Oh, here they are coming, more and more. Sukash Sharma, hope Mr. Mansour Khan will expose the myths of a political nature of Tablighi Jamaat. Dr. Pelnal, Mr. Mansour Khan is really giving a clear insight into the issues. That's directed to you. There are also some positive comments in Hindi on Mr. Khan presentation. I am informed, but my Hindi, I'm very sorry. Well, if it isn't good, but my Bengali is no better. It's no better than my Hindi. And Urdu, the same. So I'm sorry. I'm very illiterate from this point of view. So we cannot follow in Hindi. I'm so sorry. So we are going now. Mr. Khan, you were the one who had most of the questions. Perhaps we can start by you. Of course, that I will give the floor to the other speakers, but perhaps, yes, now the floor could be yours. Please.
Sir, regarding Mr. Siddiqui's claim that all the groups in Islam claim to be following Prophet Muhammad. Yes, absolutely. Nobody is going to purchase poison. All the poison is being sold uh, in a bottle of honey. So we'll have to make a thorough study in this regard whether what we are buying it is really honey or is it poison in the disguise of honey. All groups in Islam, they claim to be following Prophet Muhammad and others, but as I said in my presentation, then who were the followers who had attacked Prophet Muhammad? Who were the followers who had attacked his grandsons? They were not non-Muslims. They were in fact all Muslims. So this perspective will have to be understood, whether which part of Islam represents peace and which part of Islam does not. I think if we uh, hold some seminars on this issues worldwide, then I think we would be able to clear this point of Islamic terrorism, which is a hot debate nowadays. And most probably, people who do not understand the topic fully, they come to a conclusion that all Islam is the same. In fact, I don't see any religion in which some sects are not violent, but any religion which preaches violence is not a religion at all. That's what I want to say. And secondly, uh, one thing more I want to say over here. Uh, the Wahhabi, the Salafi, the Tablighi ideology, they have a slogan to which they act upon. And the slogan is that Islam is a religion of peace. Either you accept it or we will kill you. Is it a religion? How can we say it is a religion? And to counter this type of an ideology, you and we should get together to propagate the ideology of peace, so that this subject may be cleared in the minds of the people. It is not, it is not that uh, people are just acting on the whims. It is not like that. But the true face of Islam is Sufism, which has not been propagated at all. In the early 19th century, all the groups which were forming throughout the world were to malign the teachings of the Sufi saints. How can we say that uh, 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 Tablighi Jamaat also had some influence from the Sufi background? In fact, they had built their markaz just at the gate of Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, because people used to go there and visit this place in lakhs in those days. So this cult was developed at the doorstep of Sufism. I think we should do more research and on the subject, and we should come forth with such webinars and presentations before the general masses, so that the difference between the ideology of peace and the ideology of hate could be exposed fully. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We still have another comment.